Hello, salam alaikum. Welcome back to my channel, and this is part 2 for my hijab story. And we ended the first part where I was in Mecca in Umrah, my first ever Umrah, and it was life changing. I had one-on-one conversations, I would say, with Rabbina, subhanallah. SubhanAllah, I am still really overwhelmed with all the conversations and direct answers I received. We all know the feeling of making dua at home and wishing for any kind of sign, any kind of response, anything that would make us feel that we're heard and listened to. And there it was, subhanAllah, a direct feedback and a direct feeling in my guts of what is right and what I should do and what the answer to that is. And yeah, obviously it was life-changing. Part 2 now, I will talk about how I left Mecca with a special dua. I felt that for my day-to-day implementation and of getting closer to Allah and making sure that I'm taking something from that journey that will last, that I want to get closer to the sunnah of our Prophet ﷺ and to our way we should live and implement our religion into the day-to-day life, and how I'm actually not considering enough in my daily basis, and especially with raising my kids, how to make them love our religion more, know more about our prophets, peace be upon them, and how to make them feel that the religion serves their well-being, and how we need the prayers and not the prayer needs us, and so on. So I left Mecca with the dua of saying, please let me feel in Medina, especially in the Rauda, let me feel the special feeling that Jannah or Jannah paradise would feel like, so that I have a motivation into my daily basis, and I have a motivation and a goal that I'm working towards to. And if I would have a taste of Jannah, that would motivate me on a daily basis to do more and to become stronger towards Allah, so I know what I'm rewarded with. And yeah, it sounds a bit weird, but like I was wishing when I left Mecca to get a closer understanding and feeling of the big prize, why we are doing this all, and how much it's worth it to struggle for it, because this is the final end goal and everything else doesn't matter. And yeah, the whole journey, how we went to Medina, we missed a train, we found a car, we found it was already really planned from God. Everything was just meant to happen. It was just feeling like we're so passive and we are not able actively to plan, and to, it was out of our hands, lots of circumstances, subhanAllah, without going into details. We were in Medina just for one night, but it was 2 full days. We arrived in the morning, we had the night, and the next day till like 10 before we had to go back to the airport by 10 at night. So we had 2 full days and a whole night. We were mostly separated, like me and my husband, we were not together because obviously the mosque is separating woman and man, but also our Rauda application spot was in different times, of course, because they also here separate men and women. So I had the luck, subhanAllah, alhamdulillah, I had a chance to have on the app a spot for my Rauda. It was 10:30 in the morning the next day. So the first day I just enjoyed the calmness of this mosque. Looking back, I felt like Mecca was kind of day of judgment. You're in your internal conversations and struggles, you are ashamed, you are like obviously slapped. I described that in the first video. It was tough, harsh, struggling, full of questions, but also full of guidance. However, Medina felt peace, heaven, calmness, reassurance, recharging. Also, you can rest. I was able to rest in Mecca. I almost didn't sleep. In Medina, I was able to rest, and even while my prayers, while my reading Quran, I was able to recharge. And this is the big feeling I took from there. However, what I want to share with you is what happened with me in the Rauda, because it was really, really special. I went very early. so that I wouldn't miss my spot, and I was scared things would be crowded and I will not reach the person to show him my QR code on time. So I went a bit early, and I recognized that I'm actually half an hour early, showed him my app and my QR code and just expect him to tell me to wait, but he told me you can enter from now. So I was half an hour early before I should go to my spot. I remember entering with a big group of tourists. I was the only one, I guess, who was individual. Everyone else was like huge groups of like with tour guides and so on. And I felt inside kind of rushed. Like this woman who was for sure overwhelmed with the amount of people coming inside and needing to follow the time plan of people taking their slot and then the next group to come. I felt she's rushing me through. I also were staying a lot in the back. I felt like everyone else was closer and having a better experience than me somehow. SubhanAllah, I was still praying my 2 rakah, trying to connect to the place, trying to get the feeling for the peace there. However, I remember that just in the last 2 minutes when I passed the grave of our Prophet ﷺ and his house and the pillars, I saw everything, like his place and his mosque, and it was a 1-2 minute thing. The rest I was in the back with a lot of people, and a lot of women were like, even while I was praying, they were telling me, hurry up, like sister, ukhti, rushing me through, trying to, I felt like kicked out. And I left and I cried because I was sad. I really wanted to get a feeling for, I mentioned that earlier, I wanted to feel my reinsurance or my motivation that I will take back into my daily life. I want to get a feeling for heaven on earth that is promised between his house and his mosque of our Prophet ﷺ that he took every day going to prayers. And I really wanted to, really unrealistic expectations obviously, but we are allowed in our dua to ask for the wildest things and to get really creative in our wishes. And I really wanted to take something back that would motivate me on a daily basis. So leaving the mosque, I was kind of disappointed. And I checked my time and I realized that actually right now it's the time for my actual slot. Like I finished my tour, I was out of the mosque, I checked the time and I see the QR code is actually for now. So why not giving it a try? And I just went again into the row of people entering the Rauda, showed them my QR code. And you can imagine it, if you haven't been there, like the man who checks the QR code is like really short answering. He's obviously surrounded by many people who ask questions or who want to sneak in, or like he sends away everyone basically. And I came with my app knowing that I just came out, but trying it anyway. And I didn't plan to lie. Like if you would ask me, did you enter before, I would of course not lie, but yeah, I just gave it a chance. I hold him my QR code. It gave him an error sign. I'm not sure because it was 2 minutes too late for my spot or because he sees in his machine that it's a used code. I'm not sure why. He just told me, okay, pass. And I walked inside. It's like a long walk. I couldn't believe myself. He let me enter. Everyone in front of me was not allowed to enter and I was allowed to enter. Again, I was just there. And this time I was the last person of my group. And I entered, everyone was already busy with praying the 2 rakah. And I was like feeling, I just did that. So I passed all of the group. And I was basically almost 20 minutes on my own on this little stripe just in front of the grave, just on this piece of heaven on earth, the way from our Prophet ﷺ's house to his mosque, just on my own. The whole time during Mecca and Medina, I didn't take videos, I didn't take photos. I was always busy by praying or du'as, or I didn't, like many times I was like afterwards wishing I would have taken a photo, but no way on earth I could have captured any of my feelings that I felt there on videos. So yeah, after like 10-15 minutes, people were like done with their prayers and with their stuff, and they started to join me, and it got more crowded. And that's the moment I took a video, but you can see the beginning of the video I was totally on my own. So yeah, my dua was answered. I got a feeling of that place, and I got this peaceful moment on my own. And I remember how I was so connecting to our Prophet ﷺ, and how I was feeling how many things we also have in common, and how he was the first Muslim, and how I feel I'm the only Muslim in my family, how much I'm struggling for the religion, and how much he struggled. Of course, he struggled way more and he suffered way more, and I don't want to compare myself with how great he is, of course. I'm just meaning of the part of sometimes feeling misunderstood, sometimes struggling on your own. I felt like there was a moment of, yeah, he understands me. I'm welcomed in his house, and he would truly understand what I'm going through. I don't know how to describe that different, but I left with knowing I want to be closer to his sunnah. I want to be closer to the woman who lived close to him. I want to be more of a correct character he has. I want to become better. I want to obviously get closer to my religion and practice it better. And I got fully motivated. And when I went back home, he was the thing. I went back from the airport still wearing the veil. Not sure if you saw part 1 where I described that I was not veiled for many years, and it was actually 12 years without the veil. And when I went back home with the taxi, I still kept it on, and next day I had to go to work, and I remember how I didn't want to go to work without wearing the veil. It felt weird, it felt wrong. I really wanted to keep it on, and I remember Mama's husband looking at me and saying, I feel you want to keep it on, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, I really wish to. And then he's like, yeah, but we also need to like take those decisions slowly, and we cannot just rush into it, and take your time to think about it. And yeah, he wanted to make sure it's like I overthink that well, and I'm not just coming with this honeymoon feeling of Umrah and yeah, rush into something that I might regret later. However, I was the whole month after coming back from Umrah. First 5 to 7 days, I couldn't logically think. I was still somehow disconnected from myself. I felt that I described in part 1 how I felt that somebody has the remote control over my body and my physical needs, and how everything is like taken out of my own hands and choices, and how I'm just functioning. I felt that for a while after coming back from Umrah. I felt that I am not aware of time, and how my body is disconnected from my brain, how I'm even unlogic in a lot of moments. I didn't get the depression, but I remember also how I was avoiding lots of people, how I was not trying to be in crowds, how I'm feeling so pure. To be late for prayers feels so wrong, how you feel every little small thing you do wrong, a wrong word you choose, the first time you open your phone again, the first time you are wasting your time on watching a reel or whatever, how it feels so heavy impacting you, and how you feel so, yeah, how you want to do everything just perfect the way you can, and how much you don't want to go back to your old routine and your old self. And the whole month I was in internal debates about what I should do, how I really wish to change things in my life, and how I want to implement a plan of how I get closer on a day-to-day basis, and how I really wish to wear hijab, and of course so many fears connected to that. I took the last 12 years where I'm not veiled to reconnect to my family. They started to be close to me again. I didn't feel that we had a burden or like a gap between us. We were looking like each other, we were acting like each other. I sometimes wouldn't pray when I'm with them in order to respect them. So weird, but all of this is just history now. I am feeling how my prayers are serving me, and I'm not just praying because I'm a Muslim and I should pray. I feel the benefits of prayer, the peace it gives to me, and not just I should pray. I'm a Muslim, so I pray 5 times. A lot of things changed after Umrah, and it was easy for me to do more for my religion. To be veiled now is like only the logic consequences of realizing basically life is just a test. It's a small journey compared to what we are waiting for afterlife. It is just a test. With its hard moments, we're tested and we hopefully pass it and we are hopefully rewarded, and it deserves it. And yeah, with taking more Islamic lesson, more religious classes, trying to implement that into my daily routine, also with my kids, trying to implement more of topics in this direction. A lot of things happen. I'm more describing that also on Instagram, where I'm more active. So also feel free to follow me there. I'm trying to show a little bit of how how my family life goes around that topic. And yeah, if you like that video, give me a thumb up, subscribe to the channel, of course, tell your friends about it. I want to do more of those videos. Not sure what I will share here in the future, how I will use this platform, but if you like to be part of that, feel free to join. And I would be happy if this channel would grow and we can maybe recommend this to someone else who's benefiting from that, who maybe goes through the same. Have a happy Ramadan. We're soon starting that, and I can't wait. I remember how every year I was kind of afraid of Ramadan, and this year I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward. Salam alaikum.